All right, so I wanted to share this video on this bookstore owner. The bookstore is called Ida. I think it is Ida's bookstore. Um, they'll 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 yeah, Ida's bookshop. It's out in New Jersey. Um, but the owner here is going to kind of dive in a little bit on this idea of black culture being anti-intellectual, um, which basically, in so many words, just means black people are dumb and want to be dumb, are not interested in uh, educating themselves and growing intellectually. And so the whole idea of it was kind of new for me in terms of the actual term anti-intellectualism. Um, but this was I wanted to share this was good because she kind of breaks down where that comes from, which we all know, uh, but we don't hear often enough. And so for those of you who are part of the black community, listen up. For those of you who are not, please listen up because this in itself is educational. All right, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
I am Jeannine A. Cook. You are at Ida's Bookshop in Collingswood, New Jersey. Ida's Bookshop is named for historic heroine Ida B. Wells. Our mission celebrates women authors, women artists, women activists.
I think it's weird because I feel like people think that black people are like anti-intellectuals.
Yeah, I don't know where that lie came from, who made up that story. But what you do know when you talk about the historical side of reading in books in America especially, is that there were and has been a concentrated effort to keep books away from black people, right? And so the fact that there was a time here in this country where people were literally killed, maimed, they would bust your eyes out, and that was black people and white people if they found out that you were reading or teaching them to read. These types of ideas of like historically why books and reading is important to us, we are a storytelling people, right? No matter what the medium is, no matter what the location is, no matter where you put us, we use storytelling as a mechanism to build empathy, to build connection with each other. No one's ever figured out a way around that for us because we will do it no matter what. We'll do it through songs, we'll do it through dance, we'll do it through movement, we'll do it through, oral storytelling, we'll write it, no matter what you throw our way, we are a very adaptable people, which I think is great too. I think one of the things that as we move into the future of the bookshop, I'm more and more interested in local authors. I'm more and more interested in like how we could, the bookshops can be used to help position local authors on a more national stage or to, sell more books for themselves. Not having a huge amount of experience, there's no like wealthy family member. This wasn't a business that was passed down to me. So it's like I'm learning on the job. So I think some of the biggest challenges are navigating when to say yes and when to say no, when to hold and when to fold. So it's multiple stores. Some of them are like Harriet's is open every single day. Ida's is open Thursday through Sunday. And my typical is kind of this, like I'm constantly redoing, like, because things sell and then you have to like adjust to the fact that the books that you had the day before are no longer there. I was telling you earlier that I've decided to end the lease here at this building. And I remember 4 years ago when I was trying to get the lease, how, I was so excited to like do this. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, it was like I was over the moon about the opportunity to rent from someone. And in the matter of 4 years, realizing and learning that that's not the epitome of this experience and that it's actually not the most sustainable way to do this. And I think now where I am in terms of business is that it's deeper than just like being able to use a space for me. I want to build real relationships. It needs to be sustainable and have real connection, or what's the point, If you're talking about being an entrepreneur, if you're talking about being a Black entrepreneur especially, I think faith is a huge part of that. right? Because there's often times where there's no evidence that you're going to be able to do the thing that the vision that you set out to do. And I think that one of the things I was saying to you earlier on is like, I like being able to sit down and mark this moment of, here we are. I don't really know what's going to happen next. I don't have any evidence that we're going to be able to make that happen, but I do have a vision for it. And I do have faith that it's going to come together in divine time.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Well, let me comment on the last thing there. When she's saying she's going to close that shop, if I heard it correctly, or at least that location. Um, I don't know if she's gonna move somewhere else or if she's just going to dismantle that one. But as you saw in this video, like she's running pretty much the whole thing by herself, solo. Right. So she is another example that I've of one that I've described in several videos before of like why it is so much difficult for African American business owners to get ahead because they're running the whole show. She's running the whole show. We run the whole show by herself because of lack of capital and well, just lack of capital for the most part. Um, and so when people complain about service times and prices and all of these things that would be able to be better if we had the capital, the help, the support. um it's really not fair when those complaints come in, and to be compared to a business that has that type of support from these other groups. It sucks. It just does. And so I'm watching her, and like she's really taking care of it and really passionate about these books and these stories that these books hold, and women, black women, entrepreneurs, and educators and things like that. um it you know just it sucks to see that she has not been able to. It seems, and I may just be guessing, that she's still trying to figure it out, and without support, it's going to be really tough. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with her and her store and channel and everything else. Um, but I thought this was really good, as also as an example, or just showing how these how the system was, again, played against us. Have you guys ever read the book? There's a book called Fahrenheit 4 something, 451, I think it was. Essentially, in that book, it was about a society that was um, destroying books, so that they can control the narrative of people in the world. Um, and essentially, that's exactly what was happening to black folks specifically, right? Being forced, or being told that they were not allowed to read books. Uh, they'd be, lynched if they were caught, or the people that were teaching them how to read would be, attacked and lynched and killed as well. Um, and so, that effect took place on our great great grandparents and our great 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 grandparents, and so when the education was taken out of the community, it still affects us to this day, right? The ability to um, just um, the generational um, inability to learn the way that our peers have, you know. because you got to think, if my great grandparents were in a situation where they were not able to learn, read, write, because the country wouldn't allow them to, that made it harder for my great grandparent, my grandparent, and my mother. You know what I mean? Like, it still trickled down. The struggle still trickled down. Yes, you know, certain certain individuals within that line, yes, they were able to go to school and learn and get a degree and so on and so forth. But we're not going to sit here and play like it. There's not an effect going all the way down, and so it's it's sad to see, it's sad to hear, it's interesting to learn. But these are the types of things that we are told to, leave in the past, forget about. Um, it was so many years ago, and this and that, but the generational effect is still at play, which was always the goal, right? It was always the goal, holding this community back intellectually, economically, uh, uh, financially, physically, holding individuals back. Um, and this is just another way that they did it. So think about that before the next time you want to tell somebody that racism is dead, slavery is over, and all this and that. The effects of it are still very, very live and very well, and people want to ignore that part, unfortunately. But this is a good story. I appreciated this. So y'all let me know what y'all think, though. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.